Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back. I hope this is recording. I don't know why my computer's being super slow today, but I think it's recording. I think we're doing okay. Anyways, we're gonna act like it is, and if I lose all this, then unfortunately I lost all this. But I am Nicodemus Kane. Today is November. I'm thinking November. September the 14th of 2022. Because it's November, of course. No, September 14th of 2022. We're just chugging right along, aren't we? It is Wednesday. Despite what my computer told me this morning, I think my laptop is running kind of slow. I think I need to restart it. Is what I think I need to do. But when I got on and I loaded it up, it said it was Tuesday the 13th, and I was like, and it stayed there. You know, the first screen that you see that usually has the time and the date. And I was like, oh, it's Tuesday? Wait, I thought it was Wednesday. And I'm sitting there looking at it, and then it changes to Wednesday. And I'm like, okay, don't do that to me. Don't start with that kind of stuff. But it is Wednesday. It is Wednesday, September the 14th of 2022. The world just seems like it just wants to death spiral, man. It seems like everybody has gotten it in their heads that the only way that we're going to fix all this is just to let it death spiral out, and that's what people are just going right along with. Anyways, I noticed two things. I've noticed two things over the past couple days. The first thing I noticed is that my headset is turned all the way up. And when I test my videos, listen to my videos, they sound like they normally do. They sound, where I used to have my volume set at on my headset. So, two things are happening here. First, it could be that my speakers are all the way down. I don't know. Secondly, though, it could be that my hearing's going out. That my ears are getting worse. I don't know. If anybody is watching this, if you could tell me that it sounds okay to you. I know some people have said that they've had to turn it up in order to be able to hear it, and that's just because I have a cheap $30 headset that I use to record through. Let me know. Let me know if it sounds weird or not, because it could be my headset going bad too. Is that I'm just not hearing it the way I used to. The levels look like they're about normal. They're just barely crossing over into the red. They're right at the tip of the yellow, and I've done everything I can to turn the microphone up as much as I can. But at the same time, the fact that it says that my volume, or the fact that it says that I have my volume down, and I have my volume all the way up, but it still sounds normal, says something's going on somewhere. So I don't know. I only noticed it yesterday because I had a meeting with my supervisor at work, and I just happened to, check the volume on my headset, and it was turned all the way up, and I'm like, but I can hear her just fine. It's not like she's boomingly loud. It's just fine. What's going on here? So it made me start thinking about the videos. Anyways, that was just something that just came to mind. We're not reading a psalm today, or not psalm. We're not reading a passage from Isaiah today because it's Wednesday. This is the day where we kind of open it up to see what else is going on in the world. Usually I find something from Facebook, because I was writing these massive walls of text 3 years ago in 2019 But I have not done one recently. And I think that was because instead of writing in notebook is gone. It's it was something that I passed on to family members. So, and it was all truth stuff. I have no idea where that notebook is right now. I don't even know if it still exists anymore. But I was writing in that notebook everything that I knew about 9/11, Sandy Hook, Boston bomb, everything I could think of that I had learned through my experiences. And I spent so much time doing that. I know I started it probably around September, went through October, November. No, I think I went through December. It was day by day. It was like one page per day through December. And then I stopped because I kind of hit a wall, but I said I'd come back to it. And by March, I was, we were talking about by March of 2020, we were talking about getting kicked out of the building. So, I absolutely stopped writing it, is what I did. But that's why I stopped writing in Facebook so much, was because that happened. But I can go down the list. I'll tell you, there's a lot of, my computer is running slow. My laptop is running way slow. I need to reset it. I've been putting it to sleep. I've been putting it to sleep for a while now. So it's definitely time for a restart. You got to restart your computers, your electronics, because all they do is just keep storing up memory inside of the what do they say? They keep storing up memory inside of the RAM, inside of the inside of the places where the memory shouldn't be, and it starts bottlenecking itself. So it starts slowing itself down because it's moving all the information around in places, and it's not cleaning itself up. That's what it's doing. For those people that don't know computer technology, for anybody else that kind of knows how computers work, you understand what I'm talking about. For those that don't know, though, it's kind of like every time you want to pull out a book at a library, you pull out a book, you read the book, but then you lay the book down on the floor, and then you go get another book, and you bring that over and you lay that one down on the floor right beside you too, and then you get another book, and sooner or later you've got a stack of books on the floor and they're not in the places where they're supposed to be. So when you start looking for them again, you have to go try to find them in the places where you left them, and you reset the computer in order to put them all back in the stacks, all back in the shelves. So that's how it works. I know, it's interesting stuff, isn't it? But I need to reset my computer. I definitely do. But we can go down the list, because I had a couple interesting things pop up. Starting with just yesterday. Something I wrote was, a mass shooting is considered when 4 or more people are killed. You know what you didn't hear about? You didn't hear about the black kid who live streamed himself shooting white people in Memphis a couple days ago. 4 people died. Not a peep. Selective hearing from the media, apparently. Go back to sleep, sheep. Which is true. It's a kid, Ezekiel something. I don't remember exactly what his name was. Apparently put it on live stream, saying he was going to go around and start shooting people. Killed 4 people. 4 people, I think he said 4 people died, 3 were injured in Memphis. Crazy stuff. The fact that we were just talking about Memphis being on the Mississippi. But I never heard of it. I didn't hear a word of it. apparently happened last weekend. And then I just barely heard the rumblings of it yesterday. And I'm like, wait, what happened? So I had to look it up. And sure enough, I saw 2 videos of this kid talking on, he was recording himself talking he was going to go around and kill white people. That's crazy. Now, I posted that not so much as a racial thing, even though it is a racial thing. Because if it were a white kid that said that about black people, it would be all up one side of the internet and down the other. But they're intentionally hiding it because of that. But I posted it more on the understanding of, they want to talk about gun violence, getting rid of gun violence. Oh, we have to stop with the gun violence and all this other kind of stuff. And yet they won't talk about this. They won't use that as a means to an end. They just completely scrub that one off. It's like, are you really truly trying to take the guns, or are you just only trying to take the guns from certain people? You get what I'm saying? It's the media, man. They just lie to you. It's just lies. Just constant lies over and over again. But I could go on and on and on about how I have seen way more people of a certain race causing violence against other people, and people on Twitter are starting to catch on. It's amazing. People on Twitter are actually starting to understand that, there are so many videos. They film themselves doing it. Black kids, black teenagers usually, beating the hell out of each other or beating the hell out of white kids. It's like they will group up on people. Now, I am not pointing that out to say that black people are bad. I am pointing that out because the media is going out of its way to tell you how bad white men are. White people are, period. But white men in particular are, when the receipts show that's just not true. It's just not true. White men seem to be the target 9 times out of 10 of all of these videos that I ever see. And again, it's one white kid usually against, 5 or 6 black kids. And the biggest problem with that, of course, is, we're not teaching the kids to be better. You can go through a million different things. You could say it's because it's a single parent home. You can say it's because the school system is terrible. You can say it's because I'm going with the gangster rap approach, because a lot of people have kind of pointed that out, that at one point in time rap was elevating people. It was really, really doing its best to try to elevate people that were black. And it's like somewhere along the line, the rich white people in the record industry started pushing the gangster rap. Now, I myself personally I've listened to it. I've liked a lot of it. But I get it now. Back then you wouldn't have gotten it because I was angry. I was an angry and bitter teenager, and it spoke to me. It really did. But there was a point where one certain type of music got pulled back, and another type got pushed out, and it happened to be the gangster rap. And what it teaches kids is to lie, cheat, steal, kill, and it's all about money. Getting your power, getting your fame, getting your fortune, getting women, all the crap. And it has, I absolutely believe it has destroyed a whole generation, 2 whole generations actually. Because, I mean, we're what, 30 years, almost 40 years removed from whenever we first really started hearing any gangster rap back in what, the late 80s, early 90s. It has screwed up 2 whole generations of kids that are out there that have been programmed since they were born, pretty much, that nothing matters. They don't matter at all because they're just floating out on a rock in the middle of nothing. That the only way to get anything they need to is if they go out and if they hurt other people for it, destroy other people for it, take it from other people by force, push people around, and that it's all about the power. It's all about the power. It's all about the fame. It's all about getting yours any way possible. The hustle, I guess, if you want to go that way. And it's sad, man. It's sad. They're not taught to even remotely try to respect anything of anybody's. And you see it. You see it out in the world. I mean, there's a spirit behind all that, of course. You can see that too. Especially in a lot of these videos that you see, there's just this evil spirit behind it. But on that same token, it's like I said, it's just that they're raised that way. They're raised to think that nothing matters. And they're going out just hurting and destroying. They don't care. What's worse than that is now they have everybody telling them that all white men bad. It doesn't care who they are, even if they're trying to help. They're all bad. So you have to go hurt and destroy and kill them any way possible. You've had them tell you, you've had government officials, people in power, people on television, people in these black special interest groups tell them over and over and over again to go out, get into people's faces, do whatever you can, yell at them, scream at them, hurt them, push them around. You've had people straight up say, go out and kill Whitey, over and over and over again. What do you think they're going to do for kids that are already messed up since birth, who have been programmed to care about nothing other than getting anything they can through any means possible? And then they're told that everybody that's not your skin color is against you. It's going to create terrible people. And it's sad. It's really sad. I grew up, I've said this before, I grew up in it was a 30-30-30. It was 30% white, 30% black, 30% Mexican. We were mixed culture. This was down in Florida. It was completely mixed culture. It was a Mexican, Puerto Rican, whatever. But it was completely mixed. And yes, we had our issues. I will agree with that, because I had a kid. He was kind of a friend, somebody that we kind of knew, that went into the wrong neighborhood at the wrong time, because he had just gotten over a breakup and he got the shit kicked out of him. at the same time, I got a feeling that this kid probably ran his mouth. He was the type that would run his mouth. But he happened to go to a place where he wasn't supposed to be. He got the shit kicked out of him. He got hospitalized for it. Now, I don't think that was any of the people that we hung out with, because I had a lot of good friends. I had a lot of really good black friends, and they never, we always got along, and we were always able to joke around with each other and, tease each other, and because that's what we used to do back in the day. There's a meme that I saw that I absolutely agree with, is that we never had racial problems because we were always able to joke about it. Joke about how ridiculous it is to have racial problems, and we were able to laugh at those people that were so over the edge that they couldn't be friends with anybody of a different race, and we were cool with it. I have said it before, I said it again, I have gone out. When I came up, I moved up to Indiana after I graduated high school, moved up here and started working up here, and it is a completely different world. Down there, again, like I said, you can joke and laugh, and you can make fun of each other, and, call each other names that people would, they would keel over dead if you heard somebody calling something else, I can't even say half of it because certain channels will pull my videos. But I moved up here and just started talking about it to other guys, and they were like, man, if you ever do that up here, you're going to get killed. And you can't just come up here and just talk to it about people. And I'm like, wait, I thought the North was supposed to be the non-racist ones. What the hell is this all about? It's a completely different culture. It's a completely different world. It blew my mind when I heard it. I was like, why is this such a thing? I was always told over and over again that that the South, period, is the most racist bunch of assholes in the world. That they still string up black people in the trees, still fly rebel flags, still do this, still do that. And yet I had to come up north to the Yanks in order to find what true racism was. And it blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. And it's sad that divide has only grown. And it is because, again, the media has gone out of their way to push that against us. It wasn't like that, though. It wasn't back in the 80s, back in the 90s. It just wasn't like that. But there was something that changed, something that happened, something that started making the turn. And as black people's lives started getting worse and worse, possibly because that change in their mental, where it went from doing hard work, trying to get what you can through education and understanding, to a place where it was get what you can any way possible, even if it means hurting other people. That was when it started changing. That was when you started seeing it more and more on the news. You started hearing about it, about this, the amount of fatherless children, just going out, having all the sex you want, creating all the babies you want, And then, you wind up having a guy that has 5 kids from 5 different mothers, or you wind up having a mother that has 5 kids from 5 different fathers, where none of them take care of the kids. Things like that. So there was a turn. There was an absolute definite turn that nobody really talks about. We want to blame other factors and we want to talk about other things, but I personally think we should have that talk about how that mentality was pushed and how hard that mentality was pushed. And now it's the media and politicians are going out of their way to push that culture so far in the background. Oh, it doesn't exist. It's only the white people that are killing everybody. It's the black people are not killing black people. Black people are not killing white people. Don't worry about it. Don't look over here. Look over here. Don't look over here. They're going out of their way to hide it. I mean, what was it? Every Monday, I wake up, look at Twitter, and they talk about 70 people killed in Chicago, 60 people shot in Chicago, whatever. The freaking war zone video that I saw 2 weeks ago. Nobody ever wants to talk about it. It just sits there and just kind of festers. But then, of course, like I said, everybody wants to make the blame game, and it's no one wants to go to the root cause of it. No one ever wants to go to the source. Everyone wants to always blame everybody else. It's like, no, you don't blame everybody else. Go to where it starts. It starts without a family. It starts with this indoctrination that you are nothing and your life means nothing. And then it starts with the culture. You want to change your life, change your culture. Because that is exactly what has happened. The culture has been influenced by very bad rich white men. I'm just saying, there were not very many rich black men in the 90s that were pushing that culture. These were very rich white men that were pushing that culture upon the people and caused most of this to happen. Just throwing that out there. We need to get to the root cause, man. We can't keep blaming each other. We have to start taking some kind of responsibility, seeing where it truly comes from. And I'll preach that until the day I die. You can't just blame, Joe Schmo over here for doing it, because that's not where it is. It's elsewhere, somewhere else. Anyways, we'll keep going. That just me talking about that may get the video pulled. You never know. That could be considered racist. Everything I just said could be considered racist. It's like, but it's not. It's just me trying to talk about it. That's the other big thing too, is that we're not allowed to have the conversation just to be able to talk about it. A lot of people say they want to have the conversation, but there are so many special interest groups out there that are doing their best to just stifle any conversation about it by calling it, we can't have a conversation about anything anymore because it's deemed bad or a conspiracy theory or something else. It's like, but why can't we just talk about it? Why can't we be upfront and honest and open about it? It is so sad what has happened in this world. So absolutely sad. But it's unfortunately the signs have been there forever, and it's just exploded to the point to where what can you do? It's nobody trusts anybody anymore. Nobody wants to have a conversation about it anymore, and it's all manipulation. We see the manipulation now, just behind the background. We see it everywhere. the media, politicians, your own damn friends are manipulating you at this point. It's constant. And being awake to it, I can see it. And all I can think of is, what about those weak-minded people, those truly, truly weak-minded people that will believe any damn thing they see without questioning anything? Man, those people got to be messed up, because they're getting... I feel sorry for them. I really do. I feel sorry for those people that can't realize what's happening, because they see everything. They have to see everything as, these people did this. No, these people did this. Nope, this is happening over here. Nope, this is happening over here. Nope, these people are saying this now, but now it's over here. These people do it. And it's constant, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's no wonder people are so messed up. And it's been like that for years. I just never noticed until I woke up. Now that I've woke up, I'm like, holy crap. Because they've had a good 80 to 100 years head start on us in order to figure out how to manipulate and mind control us. And then once television came around, that took off like a lightning bolt. They found the best way. People won't believe anything that happens in the world unless you see it on television. Somebody said that's Richard Nixon. I don't know if he ever truly said that or not, but I absolutely believe it. People will not believe that something has happened unless they see it on TV. It's crazy stuff, man. It's absolutely crazy stuff. This is nice. This is the next thing I have in here. I don't trust the government. I don't trust the medical, pharmaceutical, industrial complex. I don't trust the military industrial complex. I don't trust the mainstream media. I don't trust the banker criminal cabal that owns the government, owns the medical, pharmaceutical, industrial complex, owns the military industrial complex. Oh, wait. In Susreal, as a typo, military industrial complex, and owns the mainstream media. If you call me a conspiracy theorist, I don't trust you. Absolutely. A pandemic virus so dangerous that face masks are thrown out in a normal garbage bin in a hospital instead of a biohazard bin, which is something I've said before. But I had to add to it, or on the street, or in a parking lot, or in a sidewalk, or hanging from your stupid mirror in your car, laying them on your kitchen table. Laying them on your kitchen table, man, I've seen people take them and put them on food, like on like bottles of stuff, boxes of stuff in the stores. I'm like, don't you people understand how this is supposed to work? Anyways, what was that, 2 years ago? 2 years ago. Another one from 2 years ago. If you knew what was in store for your children, you would stand up and fight with all your heart and all your might and all your soul. Amen to that. But of course, people aren't listening. People don't care. Something from yesterday, or 2 days ago. Americans spent more money on taxes in 2021 than they did on food and clothing. If you believe your own history, you'd be out in the streets hunting down the redcoats by now. Just want to point that out. Your football and beer are not nearly as important as your freedom. Just pointing that stuff out. Got some stuff about 9/11 going on here. Again, I'm just scrolling down. I'm not letting you see it because my Facebook has other private stuff here. I don't want you seeing my friends. I don't want you seeing my family. But it's all 9/11 programming, Let me see. Twitter user in Melbourne was following the flight patterns of an unmarked plane over the city, and the unmarked plane in the city made a pentagram in the sky. It's incredible stuff. Good old Facebook. Every time I click on a picture, it resets my whole page so that I have to start all over again. Thanks, Facebook. It's amazing stuff. Here's one for you. So Moses disobeyed the Pharaoh. Esther disobeyed Persia law. Jesus disobeyed the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Flipped tables, by the way. Peter disobeyed the Sanhedrin, and Paul disobeyed the Emperor of Rome. It is not Christian to do what you're told if what you're told doesn't align with what God tells you to do. Which is the truth. Resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. I don't know why people think that they just need to roll over and play dead when somebody tells them what to do. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Here's something from 11 years ago. 9/11, 10 years of not asking questions. This is 11 years. This tells you how deep I've been into it. 11 years. I think this is when I was just starting to wake up to 11 years ago. This is September 11th, 2011. You know, I can believe that aliens never landed in Roswell. Man, how far I've come, huh? I can believe that there was only one gunman who killed Kennedy. Hell, I can even believe that we actually sent someone to the moon. But there is no way in hell you will ever get me to believe that our own government didn't have everything to do with what happened 10 years ago. Wow. Man, I don't even think about aliens anymore. It's just, you want to talk about I mean, we could talk about aliens if you want. We could talk about Aleister Crowley and what was this, Jack Parsons? Is that his name? The guy that did oh, come on now. People that did the shuttle. Or the people that aerospace. What the hell is that name? Doing their rituals out in the middle of the desert where Area 51 is, which now I'm like, that's what it is. It's a ritual site. When you put that together with America being Egypt, it could be the site of something. It could very well be the site of some ancient pagan ritual thing. I don't know. Something. I mean, you know. What was I thinking about the other day? Something about, or something I saw about the 33rd parallel. What are they talking about? Oh, man. What was it? Did I post it? I can't remember what it was. Oh, the first nuclear bomb, nuclear with air quotes. The first nuclear bomb was tested on the 33rd parallel. And the first nuclear bomb was dropped 0.4. Degrees, you know, but it's still right there. And it's like, there's something to that. But I don't know, where is Area 51? I'm going to look this up while I'm sitting here. Area 51. I haven't looked up Area 51 in years. It has been so long since I've done anything about Area 51. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I need to reset my computer. This is so bad. This is so bad and so slow. Why is this not working? This is like looking at this. Somebody was talking about the. Am I losing my internet connection? Is that what's going on? Or is it just Google that's going dead? I think it's. I don't know what's going on. No, that's working now. That's weird. That's just very, very strange. Does it have it on here? 37 degrees by 115. Nah, maybe not. Hey, man, I tried. I tried. I really tried. Oh, we skipped frames detected 26% over the last 2 minutes a few seconds ago. Oh, so my computer is having an issue going on behind it. Okay, well, we're going to keep recording as long as we can, I guess. See, I told you something's going on, man. I need to reset this thing. It's getting pretty bad. Let's get rid of this. There's a lot of things I have that are open, that have been open for a while, that I need to close. Because, like I said, I just put it to sleep. I know that stupid Cortana thing, whatever the hell it is, keeps popping up. Anyways, what do we got here? 8 years ago, inside job. 7 years ago, inside job. It was an inside job there. I've said my yearly piece, now back to life. 3 years ago, here's something that you should probably listen to. If you were to die because of a lie, would you want others to never discuss the lie because it was too difficult for them for the fact that you died? Or would you rather the truth be told no matter the cost? And this was in reference to... That was in reference to me talking to... I think it was my mom. It was either my mom or one of my aunts or something. And I was simply trying to talk about 9/11. Just trying to talk. And they didn't want to talk about it because they said that I was going to turn it into a conspiracy theory. These people had died. That people had died, and I was hurting their memory by not talking about it. And all I could think of is, if you died because of a lie, wouldn't you want other people to know the truth? You know? Wouldn't you want other people to be able to know that you died because bad men bad men killed you? Wouldn't you want your family and your friends to at least understand that so that they could fight back? We can't not talk about these things that have happened simply because people have died. We can't not talk about 9/11 because people died. We have to be able to talk about this. We can't not talk about things like Sandy Hook because you think a bunch of children died. We have to be able to talk about this. It's the only way we can heal. That's the one thing that the world has told you time and time again is, oh, such and such happened here, such and such happened there. Feel sympathy for them, but move on to the next thing. Yet, when you just try to simply talk about it, people shut down because they don't want to have those memories. But it's like, if we can't talk about it, then we can't understand why it happened, how it happened. You can't have the television just constantly tell you why and how it happened. We have to be able to talk about it ourselves in order for us to be able to not only cope, but to find the truth. Because you never found the truth about this stuff. You never did. And when it came time to find the truth, when it came time for the inquiries and all of the other things that happened, sure enough, something else popped up. That's how they do it now. Now they just do it day by day. Now they have an event that pops up almost day by day in order to prevent you from being able to focus on the thing that happened before. And it's cyclical. They just keep going and going and going. And unless you're able to stop and talk about the truth of something that has happened, you're just going to get steamrolled. You're just going to get ran right the hell over. And you're not going to know what happened to you. And that's exactly what's going on right now, is that people don't want to acknowledge what's going on because either it's too hard to talk about because somebody might have died, or it's too hard to talk about because it hurts somebody's feelings, which is the biggest problem right now, is that everything hurts somebody's feelings, so you can't talk about it. It's like, come on, give me a break. If you want to believe your own history, we have managed to survive in this world for 100,000 plus years. And we've been able to talk about everything. But suddenly, magically, over the past 20 years, we've lost that ability. And that all we can do is just go along with it. And if we don't go along with it, we're considered racist, sexist, misogynistic, whatever. Give me a break. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible and disgusting is what it is. But it keeps going. The world just keeps right on turning. Nobody gives a damn. Skipped frames detected. Yeah. 4 minutes ago and 6 minutes ago. Wow. All right. That's like I said, my laptop. 3 years ago, September 11th, see a lot of people talking about what they were doing at the time the towers were hit. I want to know what you were doing when you started questioning the narrative. For me, it's easy. Steel buildings don't fall straight down like that because of fire damage. They don't disintegrate straight down because of fire damage. Somebody pointed it out in a video I watched either yesterday or the day before. They were saying every single ounce of steel in that place disintegrated. Just went away, poof. Yes, there was steel at the bottom of the thing, but 90% of those buildings turned to dust and went away. Buildings don't do that. They just don't do that. You need to wake the hell up to that. I've seen enough controlled demolition in my life to know something was wrong, especially World Trade Center 7, which fell straight down from the middle. Then I heard there was a third building, here we go, that fell in which no plane hit, and that's when I really began to wonder what was going on. You look at enough videos of the falls or enough pictures of an open field with very little wreckage or the utter lack of security footage of the Pentagon, and you tend to start waking up. That's my moment of clarity. Most secured building in the entire United States had a security camera on, I think they said every 30 to 50 feet. There was a camera on the outside of the Pentagon, and yet the only footage that we can get was 3 to 4 frames of a security camera outside of a gas station across the street. La-di-da. 2 years ago. Look, it's okay to feel weird because you've been lied to. It's okay to feel weird. We've all been lied to. We've all been there. We're all trying to cope. We all were, and we are all in the same boat now. Yes, we are. It's been 19 years. This is 2 years ago. It's been 19 years since their lies started taking freedoms away from us. It's been longer than that, actually, but We'll go with 19 years. We're 6 months into the biggest lie that is making us prisoners. Wow. We need to fight this now or else. But nobody fought about it. Nobody fought it, so whatever. Oh, Facebook is now quietly keeping accounts restricted for 90 days because of posts made, while at the same time removing those posts so that you cannot see what the offending post was, while simultaneously letting you re-upload those posts in memories to keep the cycle going. This is true. This is absolutely true. I have said I have been on a 90-day shadow banning watch, as it were, for more than 6 months at this point, because it keeps cycling over. Because they don't notify you when you post something that they take off. They notified me once and told me you can't post for 7 days, and you've got a 1 week ban, and they notified me the once, and I was like, okay, fine. But since that point, they have not notified me whenever I've reposted it, because I go into my memories all the time, and I will, I'll repost something that I said 3-4 years ago, because some of that stuff was good stuff. So when I repost it, it gets pulled. There was one, I don't know what it was, but it was a couple days ago. It was from 4 years ago. Or no, it might have been a week ago. I think it was August the whatever. I got a picture of it. Let me see. August the 31st of 2022, I shared a picture that was a memory. And it says this post includes information that that independent fact checkers said was false. But it doesn't show the picture. The picture's gone. They pulled it off of my profile. It's out of there. It's gone. So because I posted it August 31st, it restarted my 90-day shadow ban. And I don't know what it was I posted, but they took it off. But they kept it in my memories so that whenever I put it back up in my memories, I got caught. So now it's one of those things. It's like every memory I have to be suspect of, because it'll just keep shadow banning me over and over and over again. It's a very, very messed up situation. This is Facebook. Now, people always say, why are you still using Facebook? Well, again, because I'm trying to wake up my family. If my family is not going to wake up because of this, then whatever. But it's still ridiculous. It is still ridiculous that they will allow me to see it in my memories and reshare it in my memories. But if I do that, they will not tell me that they are going to push my shadow ban, restart my shadow banning at that point for a memory that they took away that I can't see what it was. But they allowed me to share it again. If I'm not allowed to share it, then why in the world are you allowing me to share it? They're forcing me to self-censor. That's what it is. They don't want to do it themselves. They want me. They want me to sell myself out to it. And you know what? I'm going to keep doing it over and over again. Whatever. I don't care. It's just absurd. It's just absolutely absurd. But this is the first time I've ever seen that happen like that. And of course, I clicked the picture, so everything on Facebook reset. Now I got to scroll all the way back down. It's just unbelievable. It's just the kind of nonsense that is happening. Um, there's somebody on Twitter. Let's see if I can find him. See if I can do this without my computer falling apart. AIDM. Okay, where is DM? All right, this one I will pull you over into. Since, you need to see this. You need to see this to understand what's happening here. There we go. Make sure I'm still doing okay. So this guy, right here, AIDEMLEOXIDE on Twitter, posted something interesting. He's using gematria and numerology to figure things out. And it's, wow, look at that. Anyways, in order to figure out a lot of interesting things. The most interesting things, I love this guy. Said, have you considered that this count was so very small, had the ability to tweet the Queen will die? Anyways, Queen Elizabeth will die on September the 8th of 2022. He posted this on February the 4th of 2022. 2:45 p.m. February the 4th. I don't know, man. I don't know. Somebody pointed that out, and I was like, wow. Just wow. That's one of those things that you can't. Now again, this guy is saying, have you ever considered that this count was very small at the time and had the ability to tweet the Queen will die on such and such a date several times, then just delete the wrong ones when it happens to get clout. Okay, yeah, sure, but that's just not what this guy's doing. He's doing a lot of different things, yes, but he's not posting something 10 times and then deleting whatever he's deleting. He's just doing a lot of weird stuff. I don't know. Anyways, though, look at that hand. Look at the... I know that women have the ability to have their ring finger be longer than the index finger, but I'm just saying that's a thing. And we already know that just about every royal person had a wife that was extremely suspicious back in the day. You look at some of those the old monarchs, the old kings of the world and their wives, and you're just like, holy crap. Once more, for those in the back, the Queen and all her kids and friends are eugenicists. They said they get to rule over others simply because of their bloodline. Not only that, they all like to push depopulation and a one world order. Stop feeling sad for people that want you dead. That's a fact. That's a fact. Anyone who claims they can rule over you simply because they say their blood is better than yours does not deserve your sympathy. It is what it is. It's an old Faith No More line from 11 years ago, and I still hold this to be true. If I speak at one constant volume, at one constant pitch, at one constant rhythm, right into your ear, you still won't hear. That's a fact. Uh, oh, how did those Freedom Day protests happen? Wasn't there supposed to be? Weren't we talking about some kind of big? I can't remember the name of it now. I don't know if I can actually look it up anymore. There was some kind of big website that somebody was starting. Take Freedom Back or something. Some kind of something. And did I write it down? No, I did not write it down. But it was some kind of a big, go to this website if you want to learn how to fight the New World Order. Something that it was saying every Sunday that you go to this website and they will give you more and new tips on how you can fight the New World Order. But it was a corporation. The whole thing was a corporation. It had a gift shop and everything. And I just thought it was the most ridiculous thing in the world. People were pushing it, and the people were pushing it. Holy smokes, they were pushing it. And it was like, okay, I get it, you're pushing it, but, this whole thing is a corporate entity that's telling you to keep coming back weekly in order to find out how to fight the New World Order for yourselves, because they're not going to do it for you. They're going to tell you how to do it so that you can do it, but you have to keep coming back weekly. You probably had to wind up subscribing sooner or later. It's just like all these other guys, all these other truther guys that people are listening to that have some kind of a weekly or daily telecast or something, broadcast, podcast, whatever it is. And all they do is talk. All they do is talk and keep talking and keep talking and keep talking, and no one ever does anything, but they just talk. They'll get on there and they'll show you all the current events and all the world events, kind of like what I'm doing right now. But they'll just keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and then it is always something like, well, if you want more, if you want to support the cause, if you want to support freedom, make sure you go to our website and sign up. Pay the membership fee. While you're at it, buy a coffee mug, buy a t-shirt. It goes to a good and worthy cause. It goes to the cause of me sitting here looking up news and information online so that I can take all of that and feed it back to you into nice condensed versions where I get to have a commentary on it so that I can tell you how to think about it, so that you will think that I am like you enough that you will pay me money to do this. Now, I'm not saying every truther in the world that does that is bad. I get it. That takes a lot of time to sit on a computer, scroll through every single article, every single whatever, read them, understand it, look through videos. I get it. That's a good 8 hours a day, maybe 4 hours a day. I don't know. And then to set everything up and talk about it for an hour, post a video, edit a video. Sometimes they edit the videos. Editing a video could take 2 hours, 4 hours. Could take longer than that. Who knows? I get it. It's a lot of time. It's a time sink. I was there. I used to do it. I used to make video game commentaries. I know how much of a time sink it is. But it's always come back next week. Come back tomorrow. Come back whatever. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you pay the fee. Make sure you pay the money. Make sure you are keeping up to date. Keep track. Sign up for the mailing list. It's always one thing after another after another. And everybody, all of these guys, cover the same things over and over again. It comes down to which guy is funny enough that you want to keep coming back to, that you want to keep, paying money to. And it's so shilly. I'm not saying that half of these people are shills. I'm just saying it just comes off as very shilly. Pay me money so that I can tell you stuff that you can do for yourself. Oh, but I don't have the time to... Yeah, you've got time. You just got to turn the football off. You just got to turn the TV off. You got to be willing to separate yourself. I am lucky that I am able to watch videos and read articles and do what I do while I'm working, because I'm able to have the computer right beside me. I was doing that whenever I was in the office. I'd have my phone on YouTube constantly, just letting it play, listening to people. Of course, I was listening to the Bible too. I was doing a lot of different things. I get that. I can spend 8 hours of my day doing this stuff off the side. And some people don't have that luxury. But if you really want to know, if you're gonna spend an hour listening to one guy cover 3 events, you could have spent the hour going out and finding those events for yourself. It's not that hard. You don't have to pay somebody X amount of money in order to keep you coming back for more, because it's all they're doing. They never give you a way to fix it. They never give you a way to change it. They never give you solutions. They always tell you something, tell you how mad they're getting about it, saying that you need to do something, but they're never doing anything about it. It's this cyclically weird system that you just... Man. But that was... I could swear that was last weekend or something, where they said that they were starting this website again. Starting this website, and you had to come back week after week after week in order to be able to get tips, ways that they could tell you how you could fight the New World Order. Because they're not going to do it. They're just going to tell you how to do it. That's unbelievable. But this one was from a year ago. Says that people were planning another worldwide Freedom Day protest for September 18th, which is the most absurd thing in the world. If you're going to ever plan a protest, don't do it on the internet, for crying out loud. Tell your friends, tell your friends, tell your friends. Spread the message. Don't broadcast the message. And for crying out loud, don't ever do it on a Saturday. Don't ever do it on a weekend. But I said, good thing it's on a Saturday. Can't miss those paychecks. Ooh. And protesting to the people in power when they are not actually in the buildings always works. Because this one, I think, was they were going to go down to the government buildings. Protest outside the government buildings, if I remember correctly. And protest their freedom. The sad thing is, it was on a Saturday. And your government doesn't work on Saturdays. Just saying. So it was a pointless exercise. Anytime a protest is put out on a public square, public forum like Twitter or Facebook, it's not a protest. It's just another way to gather people up. That's all it is. Gather people up, get some facial recognition, maybe get some people arrested. I heard about the protests that happened in Australia, where they put it out in public, and what the Australian police did was they were there ready, and what they did was they slowly herded people into a corner, and they slowly closed the streets off behind these people. because these people were walking down the street and they kept saying, "There's cops behind us." I don't know why the cops are behind us, but they're behind us. They're kind of pushing us this way. And the more these people got down into protests, the more that these cops started closing it up. They caught like 2,000 or 3,000 people. Eventually, and by the end, they caught all these people together, and they were just able to pick them off one by one. Not kill them, but arrest them one by one. Nobody could get out because all the police had surrounded them. And somebody had said the whole thing stunk like a trap. That it was put out there publicly to go out and protest, that it all seemed like it was a little too made up. And sure enough, when they got there, the cops were ready for them. Closed in on them and arrested every single one of them. You cannot publicly display protests. If you're going to protest, you tell your friends and your friends' friends and your friends' friends' friends as little on the internet as possible. Get them to go out there on the day that you're going to do it. That's when you tell everybody, get out here, do this. You can't say, oh, we're going to do this in a week. We're going to start this in a week at such a date at such a time, because that's how they know. Man, come on. Of course, nowadays you can only protest in protesting areas, which is horseshit too. You need to wake the hell up on that. Yeah, it's been an hour. One last one from 2 years ago. On a more sinister note, this is September. By the way, people are already starting to put out Halloween decorations in September. Halloween is going to be the new Christmas. Just saying. I've heard people say that they're getting sick of people ruining Halloween. I was like, well, what do you want, man? You know, if you're going to treat it like an actual holiday, people are going to celebrate it like an actual holiday. And there's going to be people that are going to over-celebrate it. It's evil anyways, and evil corrupts constantly. So, yes, it's going to be pushed as hard and far as possible. This is 2 years ago, September the 7th. On a more sinister note, Halloween was probably made to scare little kids and get their adrenaline going and trick them with candy to talk to strangers right before a sacrificial Day of the Dead the next day. Well, it's 5 days, really. It goes until November the 5th. It's truly diabolical when we put it into a modern context, which is absolutely what it is. You tell little children to go up to somebody's house that they've never been to knock on the door and ask for candy. You're not supposed to take candy from strangers. How often have you been told not to accept candy from strangers? Yet there's one day that you are allowed to do it. The one day where the most amount of children go missing in America. The beginning of some of the most, I think is it the end of Samhain? I don't remember if it's the end of Samhain or the beginning of Samhain. But it's one of the most evil days of the world, and on the calendar, where they sacrifice little kids. Kidnap them. Like I said, it's the number one worst day for kidnappings in America, where all the rules are gone. You are allowed as a kid to go up to a stranger to ask for candy. And then for this new thing that's happening now, which is ridiculous. I am just as guilty of it as everybody else. This scaring kids, like brutally scaring kids. I've seen videos of people brutally scaring little kids, 2, 3, 4 years old, and you're just like, holy hell, man. What? There's got to be a point where we have to stop and think, what are we doing here? This is traumatizing. Absolutely traumatizing these little kids. But people do it now. It's like a big thing. But traumatizing these kids, getting their adrenaline going, getting this feeling of fear going with these little kids. And they get kidnapped. And we know their sacrifices. For the next 5 days. And it is truly diabolical. And they just keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And what's worse is that you now have adults that basically have the mentality of children anyways, that are falling along with it. It is, from what I understand, it is it's also the highest amount of rapes in one night. It's Halloween. The highest amount of drunken accidents. Who knows what else it could be? Who knows what else it could be? But it has become a truly, truly evil day, and it just keeps getting worse. So much so to the point now they are. I had to see it with my own eyes. So we know that just about every kind of Halloween costume, Halloween character that you can make gets a quote unquote sexy version. Sexy Freddy Krueger, sexy Michael Myers, sexy, Frankenstein, whatever. It's usually these costumes that will only fit like the tiniest, most beautiful women. Sometimes not. I've seen some girls that probably had to bust a couple of those seams to get them on. They make them for plus sizes now too, by the way. I'm not saying anything against fat chicks. I'm just saying that I've seen some people that shouldn't be wearing that kind of stuff. But anyways, I had to see it for myself. It went from the 20-something set down to the teenage set, to where now they have sexy costumes for the tween set. And I'm sure it probably gets worse the further down you go. I don't know. I haven't been into a Halloween store in like 4 years. 4 years, 5 years. I'm sure it's pretty bad by now. I've separated myself from Halloween as much as possible because it's just so. It used to be my favorite holiday. Now it's like I can't even do it anymore. It's just so messed up and perverted and evil and wicked, and I see the wickedness now. I see how evil it has been, and I understand now why so many people when I was growing up kept telling me Halloween is wicked and evil. You need to stay away from it. While at the same time, so many churches are doing these trunk or treats. It's like you're defeating the purpose. This is Halloween. Stop. Anyways. Just so wicked and vile, man. But I've seen that. The tweens with the sexy costumes. We live in a truly evil, wicked world, wicked fallen world. And I have said it before, evil it compounds itself. It compounds itself over and over again. It snowballs. It gets worse and worse and worse. And the saddest thing is, no matter how bad you think it is on the surface, it's always worse behind the scenes. Behind closed doors, the things that they do in secret, the hidden things, the occult things. So I can sit here and say, oh, it's number one in kidnappings, and it's number one in rapes, and it's number one in whatever. Lord only knows how bad it is on the back end. It's just truly, truly evil and satanic, and it has gotten to the point to where people just keep applauding it. They want more and more of it. And it has allowed wickedness to grow. It has allowed evil to grow. And it is part of the reason why we're in the situation we're in now. All I can do at this point is just say you need to pray. You need to have that full armor of God. You need to have discernment and understanding. And hope that the Father will save these children. That they will save the children. They will save the kids. Truly, truly innocent. It's just so messed up, man. It's so messed up. All right, I am going to go get ready for work. Thanks for listening. Boy, we covered a lot, didn't we? I don't know what subject I'm going to put on, or what subject title I'm going to put on this one, but we definitely covered a lot. I will talk to you guys later. We'll get back to Isaiah tomorrow and see what's up with that. It's now I'm all bummed out. Now I'm all bummed out thinking about that stuff. That's like yesterday. I went into it was a 5-hour long New World Order video. And I knew I started it about lunchtime, about noon. And I knew going into it. I said, you're just going to make yourself feel like garbage. It's just you're going to come out on the other end of this and you're just going to feel like crap, and you're not going to learn anything new because that I've seen enough to know enough. I don't need to see everything anymore. But I was like, you know what? Just maybe. Plus, I needed something to be able to work with. I can't just sit there and constantly change videos over and over again. So I'll just watch this and. It won't be any new information, and I'll be able to get through it. It'll be okay. And God, by the end of it, by the end of the day, I was so dragged down because it just wears you out. You have to go into these things with a true power of discernment and a true power of being lifted up over it, because if you aren't, it will eat you up. Oh, it will eat you up. And it did, man. It ate me up, and I came out of I I got off of work and I was like, I am so mentally drained. It wasn't just the work I was doing, it was just that video just killed me. I'm like, ugh. This is why I say, if you can handle it, all at once, fine. You can do that. But if you can't handle it, take some days off. Walk away from it. Mindless entertainment is not bad in short bursts. I'm just saying. You can turn your brain off once in a while. Sometimes you have to step back. I've heard so many people say this, is that sometimes you have to step back and step away from it. Don't get caught up in the mindless entertainment. Just take a little bit just to be able to pull the scales back to normal. Because, man, that was enough to bog me down. It really was. 5 hours. I did learn some stuff though. I did. So it was, but it's still just the same old, that's been planned for years, and the whole thing, the whole deal, the whole satanic Hollywood, the satanic music industry, false flags, just everything. Everything over and over again. If you've done any research into it, you've probably seen everything I saw. But this was like just over and over and over again. You're just like, wow. Just wow. All right, anyways. I shall talk to y'all later. God bless everyone, and take care of yourselves. Just... God, we gotta start fighting back, man. We can't just keep sitting here on our hands and letting it happen. Start praying. Start praying. Start using the sword of the Spirit. God gave us the sword of the Spirit for the reason. Let's start using it. All right, I will talk to you guys later.